Most Chicago media people who cover the Bears follow this account. And it's like at Carl Will with a bunch of numbers. But he only has about 2,000 followers. So he's very discreet about, like, it does say Carl Williams on it. That's Caleb's dad. And it's all like Caleb Williams related stuff. So there's a video that this account posted from, I believe it's the Commanders' defensive coordinator, Joe Witt. And I'll play you the video of what Joe Witt had to say. This is Joe Witt, the Commanders' defensive coordinator, and this is the video that Carl Williams posted on his Twitter handle.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't see much of it because I was pissed. We had just gave up the touchdown. So I got up and I was walking out of the box, and then I turned around and I was like, okay, all right. I was a little bit surprised about the play before the play. I was like, oh, they gave us this outline. We're going to have a chance at this, at the Hail Mary. And so I turned and I looked at the TV and I said, oh, we have time. I said, we're going to really have a chance at this Hail Mary. And so now I'm getting excited as the play's going on, and the ball went up, and then I saw it happen. I'm watching the TV. I didn't actually see the screen, and I said, oh, wow, we called it. And so I just stood there, and everybody's going crazy. And I was like, because I was still a little pissed. We we let them score, and then I just went ballistic with everybody else, and we just went rounding down the hall to the elevator. But so I really didn't get to see the fan reaction until I saw the pictures of it. But I'm glad we have J5. He does an excellent job, but we shouldn't put him in that situation as a defense. We should close the game, finish the game in those winning moments. And I blame myself because we were in a solid call, but there was a better call that I should have got to, and I didn't. And that's not acceptable.
All right, so that's Joe Witt, the defensive coordinator of the Commanders. Now, this account, who is supposedly Carl Williams, which all the Bears media follows, retweeted it, reposted it, and hashtagged it accountability, hashtag real coach. And this has been picked up by the aggregators, one of the NFL aggregators, Dov Kleinman, who, has some controversy behind his NFL page, but it does have hundreds of thousands of followers. And now some Chicago media has been on it since that's been aggregated and picked up and shown, hey, this is Carl Williams. Look, he's reposting the Commanders coach who is taking accountability for letting the Bears score, saying he had the wrong call. He was pissed at his defense. He was still pissed even after they won. That's on him. And he hashtagged it accountability, hashtag real coach.
Oof.
He has since deleted it. But he did repost. The video remains on his account of the video as just a repost.
Okay, two things. I know how the Chicago Bears operate when it comes to family of players. And back when Mark Trestman was coaching, I had reposted something of his wife and daughters.
His daughters
were
would always
singing,
post.
and they were singing in the car. And it was like this really super goofy video of them. And I said, oh, look at the Bears head coach's wife and daughter. And I was asked to take it down. And I said, why would I take it down? I mean, all I did was say, look at this. This is the head coach. I found out shortly thereafter, the daughters and the wife were asked to take down, to stop posting on social media. The Bears asked them.
Really?
Yes. The Bears asked them.
When you say the Bears asked, who?
I don't know for sure who, but I know who contacted me and wanted me to.
Is this at the top?
No, ownership doesn't know about it. I think it's the top of the marketing and communications people who actually are looking out for, anything that makes the Bears look negative like that. They look out for and they try to get rid of right away. So that's number one, is that someone got to them and said, "You please don't post that." Right? Someone got to them. Number two, that's a yellow flag, because Caleb Williams does not have a traditional agent. He has a team that represents him, led by his dad, Carl, and a couple of lawyers. When you have your franchise quarterback's team publicly, allegedly, saying something against your organization and the head coach, that doesn't bode well at all for how your relationship will be. And I know that Ryan Poles values so much this relationship with Caleb Williams.
Sure, and the culture. And like, not like, you know how he values the culture too, and doesn't want a look like his rookie franchise quarterback's father. So it is confirmed. Courtney Cronin has followed this account for a while, and Courtney tells us it is confirmed that this is Carl Williams, Caleb's dad's account.
Well, that's not good.
But here's what I will say too, and I've always had this position. I believe if you want an opinion from the athlete, you get it from the athlete. Well, now, I know what you're saying, that this is someone who is very impactful in his life and someone who runs his business plan.
Yes.
But I will also say, covering the Caleb drama leading up to the draft, and I was a big advocate of them wanting to draft Caleb. And, don't draft Caleb. His dad's going to get in the way. His dad wants to do this. His dad wants to do that. We learned Caleb's his own man. We learned that drama did not follow Caleb. We learned that Caleb is not a diva. We learned that, so like, while his dad may be sitting on the sidelines not thinking much of Matt Eberflus, that may not be the way Caleb thinks.
I don't think that matters. I totally disagree in the sense that the stuff that was said about Caleb that turned out not to be true, and Caleb, remember, he famously said, if it didn't come from me, if you didn't hear it from me, then don't believe it. That's one thing. When people are talking about him not being a good teammate at USC and the guys were glad he was gone and all that crap that turned out to be, very false. I think it's different when your father is the one that is running your business and your negotiations. You don't think?
So you think this could be like they could take his word more seriously than just your everyday dad because
yes.
He's got an impact on...
This isn't Zach Wilson's mom.
Right.
This is someone who you want to be going to the table with when his contract is up. In 3 years, when you want to renegotiate, this is who you want, and you need him to believe that you are making the best moves that is going to make Caleb successful.
And this is out of everything that Ryan Poles has done, this is going to be the biggest thing that he's judged on, is if Caleb hits or not. If Caleb is a star, Ryan Poles should be the general manager, and who knows, team president in the future, or on the football side, whatever, the VP, whatever, for a while. You know what I mean? That will be even if Eberflus doesn't work out, the Caleb thing is the most important thing that he's ever done. But again, I'm not going to go crazy over it. Look, you know how I feel about Eberflus. I don't feel like he is accountable. I asked in my column today, I started my column asking today, what's the bigger offense? That he let the offensive coordinator give the ball to the backup lineman on the goal line, that the second to last play was defended this way by him, that they weren't ready to play, on and on and on, or that he took no accountability for it.
Right.
And then I said, what I've said all week is, you listen to Caleb after the game. Caleb took accountability for the sack before the half, saying, I cost my team 3 points. That's on me. And then he came out when he spoke on Wednesday and he said, look, as an offense, we need to score more points. That's on us. We can't blame the defense. When even Tyreek Stevenson, for as much of a terrible thing that he did, he at least came out and apologized to his teammates, sent out the tweet, and then met the media and wore it. Eberflus never did any of that.
I know.
So that's the accountability that he's tweeting about. So, but I don't know how big of a controversy this is. I'm not going to go crazy over this right now, but it was deleted. He put it out there again, that video, and he hashtagged it accountability, hashtag real coach, which is the most interesting hashtag.
Right. Do you agree that agents for players, especially when it's the quarterback, the star player on the team, will get involved with the general manager and let them know if they're not happy with the coaching staff?
Sure. I think, look, I think we've seen this from many powerful young players all over the place.
Yes.
We saw it with Magic Johnson as a young player in the Lakers, where they won a title with Paul Westhead. If you watch Showtime or if you live through it, you know the story. And he was fired because Magic Johnson and him didn't get along. You know, how many times has LeBron said throughout? I'm not saying that Caleb's LeBron. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there are many coaches along the way where young stars have gotten fired, or general managers want to make sure that that young star gets his coach. The Bulls went through, I want to say, Kevin Lockery was Michael's first coach. He was fired, I think, after his first year. Stan Albeck was his second coach. It wasn't until Doug Collins came that he got some stability. And then after Doug, it was Phil. So, like, in a young player's career, the coach early on usually doesn't last anyway. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to spitball here. Do you have other examples of young players? I bet you a lot of them, their coach didn't last.
Right?
So, yes, I do think it makes a big deal on if the coach has a vibe with that guy.
That worries me. And if you were the Bears, do you reach out to Carl Williams?
Maybe they already did, and maybe that's why he deleted it.
And who
or maybe they said something to Caleb, and Caleb called him, go, Dad, you're making me look bad.
I don't think so. I don't think they would have said it to Caleb because they would want Caleb to just focus on.
Do you?
Yes. I think.
You don't think Caleb's going to be asked about this next time he speaks?
Oh,
it's the first thing they're going to ask him about.
I do think he will be asked about it, but I think Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren at that point have a little discussion about we need to nip this.
All right, so 312-332-3776. The old, is this the something or nothing? Again, Carl Williams, Caleb's dad, who we've heard a lot about. I've never talked to him, never met the man, so I know nothing about him. Nothing. And Caleb and his camp have been no distraction whatsoever. So say what you want about what you heard in the past. But right now, he tweeted and then deleted the video of the Commanders coach, and he hashtagged it accountability, hashtag real coach, and then deleted it.